Now, joining me now is Ben Leo, GBNews reporter extraordinaire, who's on the Gold Coast in Australia. Ben, what's the latest from the jungle?
Morning, Camilla from the Gold Coast. Can I just start very quickly by congratulating you on some epic viewing figures for your Sunday show. Well deserved. You're absolutely smashing it. And if anyone's not seen your show on a Sunday, tune in because you're missing out. Talking of GBNews viewers who are also smashing it, Nigel, isn't he doing well in the jungle? It all kicked off again with Fred Sirieix with that Brexit row. He accused Nigel of tanking the economy with Brexit. I'd argue, Fred, I think it was insane money printing during COVID that tanked the economy. The whole world has experienced that. And look at Germany, they're in recession, we're not. Elsewhere, Grace Dent, the food critic, she left yesterday. She was looking pretty knackered and tired in recent episodes, and she's finally bit the bullet and bowed out. Meanwhile, Australia has had its fair share of problems with the small boats crisis in recent years. A lot of Brits want us to sort our problem out by towing the boats back mid-ocean like Australia did in the mid-2000s under Tony Abbott and other prime ministers. I went out and about and spoke to some Aussies and asked them what they thought of that policy and what we should do about our small boats problem in the UK. Take a look at this.
Back, I said, send them all back straight away. Don't even let them stay and get rid of the boat.
I think the main thing to look at is what values you hold as a culture and as a country.
That made me ashamed to be Australian, honestly.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because we're a nation of immigrants. That's who we are.
The world will probably look at Australia in another 10, 15 years and say, well, that wasn't good what Australia did. Look, I think they've probably got to do something similar in Europe or in the UK.
Is wanting to control migration racist?
No.
Why not?
I think it's important to have controls on everything that impacts lots of people.
I'm saying you have to destroy the boats and send them straight back.
Look, you can always send them to Australia.
Yeah, you need people, don't you?
We need people.
I love how busy you're making yourself out there, Ben. I mean, you're not sunbathing, you're going to do vox pops. I'm not sure whether there's any correlation at all between stopping the boats and the jungle, but it is very good work. Also appreciate your kind words on my Sunday morning show, 9:30 to 11, if you haven't seen it already. But I'm thinking that you need to embrace the spirit of what Nigel's doing a bit more heartily. And we have seen him drinking pints of indescribable fluids and eating things that are best left unsaid. So this is my challenge for you, because you know I'm covering this show all week. I think that you have to do some kind of food challenge. You have to perhaps get a pint of something crushed up, blended with something absolutely awful, and you need to down that with the spirit of the Farage, and you also need to eat something with 6 legs. Is that a deal?
That sounds absolutely terrible, but I agree to do it. Even if it's a tomato juice, that will definitely make me gag. And by the way, just on the sunbathing point, how am I meant to sunbathe in this weather? But challenge accepted. I'll try and get it for you on tomorrow's show. I'll see what I can rustle up.
Everyone in the studio is playing the world's smallest violin for you as you gallivant around the Gold Coast having a great time. You should try the weather here, buddy. Now, let's bring former boxing world champion into the conversation. Of course, he was also an I'm a Celebrity contestant. Amir Khan joins me from Dubai. Amir, now tell us, is it quite boring in there? I mean, we get to see, an hour and an hour and a half of a 24-hour day, and I would imagine it's a bit mind-numbing.
It is, yeah, you do get very bored in there. Obviously, you're just waiting on Antoinette to come in and give the news on who's going to be going out for a trial, who's going to be going out for a challenge. And then when you get back, you hope to get some food so you can cook a nice meal for yourself. But it does get very boring in there. You have to get to do things. For example, you have to put your mind to like maybe working out, or maybe you can't read no books there because they don't allow you to take any books or anything. But there does come times where, you just have to... what kept me going when I was in there was I was praying 5 times a day. I was doing my prayers. So that kept me going and kept me strong in there. But there does come time where you do get very bored and you can lose your head in there. Like, I feel for Nigel, because obviously I'm sure he wants to go on a lot more challenges and trials, and he's been asking to go on a lot more. But what's happened is, because of his health reasons, he can't go to all of them. But overall, as an experience, I think it's just nice to get away. You're alone, away from everyone, and you're just enjoying the jungle.
And when we just looked at some of the clips there of you downing glasses of goodness knows what, I mean, how terrible are those eating trials?
You know, the eating trials were quite easy for me because obviously with the diet I used to be on when I used to be in training camp, when I used to be a boxer, I ate whatever they put in front of me. But there does come times where they put some crazy animals that have been blended, some fruits I've never had before that taste like, oh, it's really bad, honestly, but with the food one. But because we were so hungry in there, you end up gulping it down because you're so hungry. Whatever they put in front of you, you have to down it. And you don't do it just for yourself. You do it for your team as well because you know you're going to get a good slap-up meal, which I call a slap-up meal, but you get some food in the evening.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see what happens if Tony Bellew gets too hungry. But having said that, Amir, maybe we do need a punch-up in the jungle. I mean, are people watching it because they want some drama and they want some conflict, maybe?
I think Nigel's been giving a lot of drama in there, obviously, with the Brexit he's been talking about. And there's been... He's obviously, he has had a hard time in there, I believe, because obviously with the Brexit thing. No, I think sometimes it's always better to have a good, quiet, easygoing campmates around you because you don't want no drama because already you're stressed out, away from your family, away from your friends, hardly any food. So the last thing you want is any arguments or any problems.
What's your tip for who might win? I mean, do you think that Nigel could be crowned king of the jungle?
Well, I mean, who knows? I know because of his health reasons he can't go out to all challenges or trials, but he does ask and does want to be out there. He does love a debate when he's in the jungle that maybe people like, I don't know, or maybe dislike, but King of the Jungle is a big ask. But like I said, he has been doing good in there. It's a tough one, this one, because I think everyone in there has been doing really well and they're getting on with each other well.
Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Amir. I'm sure you'll be glued to it, as will all of us. Thank you very much.